Well, well, well. If it isn't a perfect day for a mock Monday on a Tuesday, I am back. The wedding was definitely interesting for sure over there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was very interesting to try to do content in the middle of nowhere. And I got caught slacking. For those of you guys that are in the dean's office every single week, we joined the draft early last week, and I was like, you know what? I'll be able to do it. I'm a few beers deep. Should be able to draft, do whatever with it. And what happened was the phone was on SOS mode. We were in the middle of nowhere for this event, and I could not load in a sleeper. And it's tragic that I missed the dean's office this week. And breaking news: this is the last dean's office episode of the week this week on Thursday, and I will be there. I don't know if I can join the mock draft anymore because of my failures, but I really appreciate all you guys that have helped Dean tune into that show because he really enjoys this now, and we're going to try to find a way to get him involved in season for that. But without further ado, it is Mock Tuesdays. I'm going to welcome in my boy Dave here. Me and Dave, we go a long ways back over the last 2 years with maybe the most interesting mock draft content because we are so different in almost everything we do on these drafts. How do you doing today?
Hey, that's good. Honestly, I'm just tired. Been moving all weekend. No one loves moving, and I want to be the first one to tell you, it finally happened, Ryan.
What
I
happened?
finally drafted Parker Washington because there was nobody
Yes.
else. There was nobody else I liked on the board.
There we go. Parker Washington officially enters your squad. That might be the best thing I've heard this entire week. But let's answer some of these questions real quick before we get started here. With Amon Ra being ruled out for the year, this is just fake news. Philly Mike is trying to troll right
Yeah,
now.
I double checked that. I was like, no
The,
way.
you got Dota calling him out. Why you lying? Andrew saying cap. Trying to play my 2-3 turn as the first overall pick. Any advice? I want a second running back at that turn, but feel like they will be gone. Well, the interesting part is Jeremiah Love, I don't think he's a risky play regardless. Basically, you're kind of looking at a Derrick Henry. And I think the good part is around that spot, you already have Bijan and Gibbs. And a lot of the time I find myself going hero RB more often at that 2-3 turn. And, Mezer mentions this, like Genty is a guy that could be available now. He's hurt, which we'll see if that impacts his ADP. And depending on if it's a week to 3 weeks with that ankle injury, we'll see kind of what that winds up being. But I think at this like first overall slot and the way it kind of plays out right now in a lot of these drafts, like the running backs are a little iffy in that range. And I find myself going hero running back more than I go robust RB there.
Yeah, there's a big drop off in my opinion. Once you get past like Kyron Williams, Chase Brown, like there's a big drop off. Then you have the middle range of like David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift, Judkins is in there.
Yep.
I'd even throw J.K. Dobbins in there when he's healthy, and then after that, it just sinks. And if
Yeah,
you
it
can't,
just
I still like going wide receiver heavy, but obviously if you have pick one or two, it's Bijan or Gibbs. So personally, I would go Bijan or Gibbs at pick one, then just go like Neighbors, Rasheed Rice, maybe Igbuka if you can get in there, Carnell Tate down the line, and then try to get like a DeAndre Swift or Judkins or someone like that in like the fifth or sixth round to be your RB2.
yeah, I do like that range of those guys, and you look at those in that range. You mentioned Judkins is a great one there. Bashal Tutin's a guy I find myself targeting a lot as well. There's a lot of good stuff there for sure. Does Jamar Chase fall down the board for all his injury? Doesn't seem too serious. Not at all. Not worried about it. Hyperextension of his knee. He'll probably miss a few practices. I'm not worried. Opening day's 20 days away now, so I think he's chilling. He'll be in a very good spot, and I'm still drafting him third there. Had Genty fall to the fourth in a mock yesterday. That's crazy. Everybody freaked out when that happened. I mean, the reports sounded horrible, but thank God it's not anything serious for Ashton Genty because that would have been absolutely tragic. Feels good with Gibbs plus A.J. Brown and Neighbors. That is definitely a very good start. Kind of, like I said, hero running back. Get those guys, and then you got to go there. Chase at the 101 now. Interesting. Might have to dabble in that a little bit. But let's get Sleeper pulled up here. Let's get this right here. 16 teams. Now, I want to be very clear. We are following the Blitz fantasy draft settings. Now, if you want to be an alternate for that league, join the Discord, which is in the description. Make sure you send a message because there's people that haven't paid yet. We still may have a few slots opening for the fans league, and that draft will be at 4:30 on Saturday, right here on this channel live. And I will be drafting with everybody competing for a Blitz championship belt and a cash prize. But the settings, since it's the 16-team league and the Blitz league as well, David, one quarterback, one running back, one wide receiver, one tight end, three flex options because of the 16-man format. And it is a tight end premium league with bonuses for hitting those 100 yards, 200 yards, the 300-yard passing games, 400-yard passing games. There you go. And yes, it is a .5 tight end premium. Any thoughts on the scoring, David?
I know if it was a full point, you'd see 4 tight ends on my roster. But without it being a full point, I don't know if I'm going to go tight end heavy unless like the board falls that way. I am very curious to see how the quarterbacks fall because obviously in 10 and 12 man, we've been able to get away with getting them in the 10th, 11th, 12th round. In a 16 man like this, someone's going to get Jackson Dart in like the 5th round, and it might be a great pick. We don't know till December, but I don't know if you're going to be able to get a good quarterback like Bo Nix, Jared Goff that typically falls at good value in a 16 man.
Yeah, 16 man's tough, man. You gotta round out that squad well, and obviously, like the 101, you're gonna have to wait a little bit to get there. You're sitting pretty at the 105. I'm all the way back here at the 115, and we're gonna see how this thing goes. So, without further ado, let's get this 16 man mock underway right here. I think the interesting part. So we did this last week as well, and also shout out to you guys. I barely have to promote these things anymore because as soon as I just announce it once, this thing fills up very quickly. And thank you guys. 16-man mock is awesome. But last week when we were doing this, it is crazy the drop off throughout this draft. I mean, the biggest thing that I noticed was running back depth, very key. Got to be able to snag those guys. And then tight end is definitely a lot different than it is in those 12-man formats because there is a lot of good options at tight end this year, but even those kind of dry up in this format.
Yeah, I noticed we're doing one running back too because it's 16 man.
Yeah, and I think that it gives you a little bit more flexibility as well. Like your roster construction can be a little bit different compared to anything else. As you see, Jahmyr Gibbs goes 101, the best pick. Bijan goes 102. I see they updated some profile pictures there for those guys. Are
they funny or just
normal? They're normal. Jahmyr Gibbs got like a headband on over here.
Oh, okay.
Look at that thing.
You know what sleeper is like? I can't remember. They put like LeBron for someone else or.
No, I think Puka. No. That was player profile. If you look up Puka's image, he's got like a shark on it. It's just a shark on him. So he's he has an interesting one there. But a lot of people will say like move Jamar Chase down. I know A-Train mentioned it already in this stream. Like, do we bump Jamar Chase down? Do we change anything with that? I'm not. He's the 103 in my books. I know Mezer might be thinking 101 with him, but he's the 103, my top wide receiver off the board. He's just such a consistent player, and the injury's not overly serious to where I wouldn't bump him down. Dota, shout out to you, my guy. Made time on vacation. I wish. Amon-Ra St. Brown goes at 104. Thank God he did not listen to Philly Mike. Torn ACL thanks to Adam Schefter putting it out there.
Honestly, in the 16 man, I know it was auto, but I don't even hate that if you're just gonna go with the most reliable of the people up here. I know you could argue obviously I'm gonna go Puka, but like between after Puka, like JSN and St. Brown, if you want to argue who's gonna be more reliable, I think no matter what, St. Brown's gonna be around that wide receiver 4, 5, 6 range. And JSN did only have one great year. I expect him to still be great, but I don't hate St. Brown going that high.
Yeah, that is. I like that point. I don't think I'd change I'm not gonna change my top 6 players. Like I have St. Brown at 6. I'm just gonna kind of stick with that. I think when I do look at that, like a Justin Jefferson maybe gets bumped down slightly.
Bowers at 8.
Tight end premium.
It's half. It's only half.
See, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
See, I was pretty confident you were gonna go Bowers.
CMC at 8 there or 9. See, CMC in this format scares the shit out of me. He is so scary in a 16-man league right now. I mean that takes some balls, A Train. And you know what I would say if you draft CMC, you got to get the handcuff. Who knows? Maybe I'll snipe Jordan James throughout this draft because he is healthy.
But yeah, with one running back, I'm not even really worried about a running back falling. I know I'm going to get at least one decent, like tier 2 running back at the minimum. I'm not really going to stress.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what kind of falls to me here in this back half of the first because I do like the early second round. And if some of my top options are there, I feel like I'll be in a good spot right out of the gate, especially at running back. So Justin Jefferson goes 110. Okay. Okay. Now we're chilling. Now we're chilling. But Bowers. So here's the thing with Brock Bowers. I'm so high on Brock Bowers entering this year. The only thing that makes me bullish on picking him earlier than the middle of the second in a normal format 12-man league is injuries. Like I'm a little worried about that knee problem he's kind of been dealing with a little bit, and I don't think it's gonna like stop me from pushing him down my board and saying do not draft him. But it's not like I'm going out there and getting a ton of Brock Bowers. I would say in all the drafts I've done, I've maybe drafted him a handful of times this year. Like it hasn't been a ton. I prefer like the Tyler Warrens. I prefer the Kyle Pitts. I prefer the Tucker Crafts. Like those guys in the middle round. Laporta, that injury is a little scary considering the fact he's coming off that back injury. Now he's got a hip injury. That's a little scary for me right there. Sorry, my 101 took so long. I was reading the chat, almost missed my pick. No, trust me, I'd be doing that. When we did that 10-second mock, that's when I was trying to read the chat, answer everybody's
10
questions.
10-second mock?
Yes, 10-second mock time.
I missed that one.
It was very, very hectic, and I really liked it. Let's see. The issue with Bowers is that we don't know how good the quarterback play is actually going to be.
Yeah, I still like McBride over Bowers just because Bowers burned me last year. But with Brissett returning, we've seen Brissett just dump it off to McBride. And I think that's, again, the safer play. But when Bowers was healthy last year, he was a different specimen at the tight end position.
Yeah, I think the interesting part about I think Kirk Cousins is not as bad as people think he is. But I think that the interesting part with that is like you take a look at the situation overall, and Kirk Cousins compared to Geno Smith last year, I actually think that's a slight upgrade. Like I call me crazy, but like I think that's a slight upgrade there. So I'm
sick watching this how this mock is turning right now. The A-chain disrespect is just insane.
The A-chain disrespect?
Yeah, I'd take him over Chase Brown. You can argue James Cook. I would take him over Barkley. I would take him over CMC.
So, yeah, I mean, of the running backs that just went, I thought it was a very interesting, an interesting way to go about it. So, like James Cook, I have higher than Barkley. Barkley, I have lower than Brown, Hampton, Walker. A-Chain and him are basically a toss-up for me. At this point, I'm kind of like back and forward with those guys, but over King Henry for sure. Like I think that was a very interesting running back run. And in this format it's a little different too because people are going to draft differently here compared to how they would in a normal 12-man. But like I find myself with the 112 all the time this year going Hampton Walker, Hampton Walker, Hampton Walker.
I know Messer was praying McBride came back to him right there. That would have been a nasty start.
Yeah. What's with all these people joining and just going auto SMH, just take up spots for other people? Yeah, see, the interesting part is, yeah, that's what happens, unfortunately. Unfortunately, people sign up and don't do stuff. I mean, not the best case scenario. Mecca Agabuka, there he goes. See, I am so interested about Emeka Egbuka's toe injury. I really hope it's not anything that's
Come
going to
on.
linger in the season for him.
Andrew's really going to determine how the rest of my draft goes with his pick.
So what do you got to say to this? You would take A Chain over a stacked box on almost every play over Chase Brown?
Yes, and I love Chase Brown, but I'm taking A Chain every time. A Chain's probably my RB4 right now, and I don't care that he's on a bad team. Well, half the time that never matters for fantasy. Obviously, the more touchdowns, the better. But Jamar Chase, someone pointed out the best offense in the chat, and best offense half the season. The other half, Joe Burrow's on the sideline. So, and okay, he took Neighbors, so I'm just gonna not worry about the position.
Wow, the first quarterback goes off the board, and hold up,
It was
wait,
Neighbors or Allen for me
wait,
right
wait.
there.
Bills fan goes Josh Allen and hates on Bengals player. Suspicious.
I don't even hate the Bengals. I like the Bengals. They're a fun team to watch. Hey, on record, I have said Joe Burrow is the most talented quarterback in the NFL.
Okay, well,
When he's healthy, I think he's the most talented quarterback in the NFL. So let's not pretend like I'm just a Bengals hater all of a sudden. And I got a lot of backlash for that comment last year when I said it in the Bills fans sleeper league.
I mean, I'm giving you backlash. I mean, what? The most talented?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
I've always just liked a pocket passer quarterback. And while
So
it's
it's just 'cause he's a
fun,
pocket passer that makes him the most
no,
talented.
no, he throws better than Mahomes, and he has less of a turnover issue than Allen. That right there, he's already number one.
So how would you debate the argument that Joe Burrow can't do what Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes do, which is make any play in any situation with their
He,
legs and improvise?
you can do more than that, all right.
Well, I'm just saying, like if I'm taking a quarterback, like I'm taking a guy that gives
He
me
doesn't.
every single
Burrow
option.
doesn't need to do much improvising because he can put the ball places Mahomes and Allen can't.
Well, maybe if he did some improvising, he wouldn't take sacks 6 seconds to do a play.
Yeah, well, that's when you have when you have Cody Ford on the offensive line, who they finally cut.
Mm. Yeah, I think Joey B may be a little bit overrated.
Man, do I just take Lamar Jackson and piss everyone off? Damn.
Yeah,
Loveland and
I like
Warren.
those picks right there of Loveland
Yeah,
and Warren.
I was hoping one of them would come back. That's really unfortunate for me.
Yeah, I see the love here with Loveland, and especially in the tight end premium, like you see those guys in that third. I was not surprised if they went like right where Josh Jacobs and Kyron Williams went in this draft, and I wouldn't hate people if they're pushing those guys in the second round in the tight end premium because both those guys have much upside as anybody else in football. Sorry, have you ever seen Mahomes play with a bottom five offensive line for years? Yeah, I've seen him play with probably the worst rotating left tackle situation in the last 5 years. Thank you for stealing Orlando Brown from us. My
You
goodness,
know,
that guy was
I'm gonna take. I know you're not gonna like this pick,
oh
but I'm
boy.
gonna take the last
The
tier
last
one player in my
you're gonna go
opinion.
Bucky over Love?
Yes,
Interesting. Why?
Bucky's the last of my tier one players on the
So
board.
why are you going Bucky over Love?
Love is just in a crazy backfield. With they paid Tyler Algier. They still have James Conner, who I think is going to still take away some red zone playing time from Jeremiah Love. But Bucky Irving, when he's healthy, his in PPR, he's just a beast. I know they had Kenneth Gainwell, but he had Rashad White the last couple years, and that hasn't really hindered Bucky's performance all that well. He still played at a all-star level, even with Rashad White. So if Kenneth Gainwell plays 40% of the time, I think Bucky's still going to be an elite back.
Interesting. I think I think Bucky and Jeremiah Love are kind of in almost similar situations, just different offenses. Like Jeremiah Love is clearly the better overall player in like a player for player aspect. Like Love is better. But you could argue situationally wise, like I'm playing devil's advocate here, that Bucky's in a much better situation to succeed because they have Baker Mayfield. They have a strong receiver corps. The schedule's a little bit easier. And, even Jeremiah Love does have a little bit of competition. Like, Algier's going to play around the goal line. You have James Conner, like, who knows what we're going to get out of him at this point. He's kind of a fossil. But I think it's interesting to kind of just watch it play out with Jeremiah Love. He's a guy that, like, I don't hate in the third round anymore. Like, I'll get Jeremiah Love and, add him as my second running back. But if my team has Jeremiah Love as my RB1, I'm good. I'm good. I don't think my team is going to be winning that much games at that point.
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of weird with just the one RB slot in this format, but again, I just had to go with who I think is a tier 1 running back. Like, it's Javonte, Jacobs, Breece Hall. They're like top of the tier 2 for me. Kyron and Bucky are like the end of tier 1. And then all the receivers that were still on the board are tier 2, in my opinion. Devontae Smith, T. Higgins.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking. Mitch says, so he goes Quinshaw, and I got Waddle, Hampton, Walker.
Kyle Pitts in the 3rd round. Imagine if it was a 10-man league and I said that.
That was the meme video I made. Interesting. I'm in a peculiar spot here. Go to. He's not coming back to me, but you know what? We're gonna go Parker Washington.
I knew it. I was like, there's no way he's gonna gamble.
Yeah. I mean, like, so here's the thing. Like, you look at the receivers real quick. Like, Tyrell McMillan. I have massive concerns that he has any sort of a ceiling this year in this Panthers offense. I think like he's probably a safer option than Parker Washington. I'm not going to argue that. Like, I am taking a risk on Parker Washington being that wide receiver 1, but the ceilings aren't even close. Parker Washington just has a better ceiling than Tyrell McMillan this year. Devontae Adams, 16-man league, he scares the shit out of me. He has so many injury concerns with his age that I don't really like it. Luther Burden, we don't really know what his timetable is fully going to be like. So I'm a little bit right now. I like Parker Washington over DJ Moore, Mike Evans, Dunze, Tate. So might as well go take my guy right there. So got Waddle, Parker Washington, starting to fill out the squad a little bit. I was definitely thinking about tight end, but I'm not really drafting Laporta right now until I get a better outlook on how that hip injury is going to hinder him this season. David, you sniped Andrew, you dirty dog.
I thought you were going to take Cam Scattaboo.
I'm kind of fading Scattaboo a little bit right now. Just because I think
Najee Harris?
Not Najee Harris. Like, I think Najee probably plays like a very small amount, but like Tyrone Tracy will have a role this year. Devin Singletary's played a lot with the ones this preseason as well. Scattaboo's coming back.
Do not worry about Singletary. I promise you.
I'm not. I'm just saying. There's a lot of mouths in there right now, and then with Scattaboo, he has the injury concerns. He has those efficiency concerns, and if he doesn't have that receiving work and the massive volume he did last year, he kind of gets overpriced a little bit. He's gone in the late 3rd rounds as of the last couple of days in ADP, which is kind of crazy. I think he's an easy fade at that cost, but. Let's make a Chiefs-Bengals bet this year. Yes, we will be making a Chiefs-Bengals bet. But good news, we are partnering with Better for the entire season.
Andrew just sniped me, so.
Andrew sniped you back?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, hey, what we'll do is, since Better is now the exclusive partner of Blitz Sports Media, we will be doing it on Better, and we'll be betting Chiefs-Bengals this year, and we'll find a way to make that happen. How do you think Jadarian Price will do this year? I like Jadarian Price. I think some people are going to overdraft him a little bit, depending on how needy they get at the running back position. But around that, middle of the 6th round in those redraft 12-team formats, I think he's a really strong RB3 entering this year. He has a 4th easiest strength of schedule at running back. He is going to be given an opportunity to play very early on with Zach Charbonnet's injury. I do think his ceiling is capped once Charbonnet comes back, and they're going to be a little bit of a split. But the Seattle offense can support 2 solid running backs, and we've seen that. They just kind of have cap ceiling. So around that 6th round is a solid spot. And exactly like I just said, Dota, word for word, bar for bar. Cardell Tate, are you worried about Cam Ward at all?
Cam Ward, yes, I'm worried about him. But Cardell Tate, I'm not, just because Brian Dable historically always feeds the wide receiver one. We saw with Malik Neighbors in New York. I'm not going to say Carnell Tate's going to put up rookie Malik Neighbors numbers, but he's certainly going to outperform his ADP.
I'm starting to get a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah,
Cam Ward is starting to
Jamar Chase had like one catch in his rookie preseason. I'm not worried about it.
It's not that. Like the target share is great. I'm not worried about the target share or the offense. I think the interesting part is like he has 5 empty targets this preseason, and you watch Cam Ward play. He's still running back 20 yards. He's still missing throws. He's still not reading the defense well, and this is not against like first teams. This is against backups. That worries me a little bit, and I think, Wandale Robinson, honestly, like his underneath targets, gonna make him good. Like I'm not fading them. I can't say that because I've loved them this entire offseason. Like the situation's perfect. Carnell, they just need Cam Ward to play normal football. If Cam Ward can play normal football, life will be great in Tennessee. But unfortunately, I don't know if that's gonna happen. The backups have looked better than Cam Ward against you. That is just facts. You put Money Mitch back there, Carnell Tate's a top 1 receiver in fantasy.
Drake May goes. I have a tough decision.
I don't know, Jim.
I'm between 2 guys right now. I was kind of hoping one of them would be gone just because it makes the decision easier.
What decision are we making over there? Falcons should trade for Stetson Bennett. They'll have 3 mid quarterbacks, not just 2 now. I think Atlanta, honestly, I saw a report today that Tua has performed so bad that Michael Penix has a very good chance of still starting week 1 because of how bad they're non-committal about Tua right now.
I think they should just let Penix develop.
I think they should just throw Penix in there. We know what Tua is. We know Tua has no sort of long-term play at that position, so it's really, really tough for me to say, yeah, bench the young guy for the older guy.
And Fannin was the guy I was considering with Evans, so it's kind of funny that Andrew takes him. But I was going to ask, if Shadur Sanders was the starting quarterback, I would have taken Fannin over Evans. But with Watson, he just never throws the tight ends. And do I think Watson will be benched this year? Absolutely. It's going to inevitably happen.
We talk about the Falcons quarterback situation. The Browns are.
At what point is it worth drafting Fannin if Watson's going to be, if Watson makes it to week 10 before he's benched, Fannin's he might not even be relevant until week 11, 12 in fantasy. But if he was benched in week 3 or 4 and Shadur takes over, then I wouldn't be worried. But I just don't know how long of a leash Watson has in Cleveland, so I'm just going to go with the safer pick with Mike Evans.
Yeah, I no disrespect, sorry. I know you are a Georgia fan, and Stetson Bennett was great over there. Might not even be a top 2 quarterback for the Rams.
He might not even be a top 3 quarterback for the Rams, and they might only have 3 quarterbacks right now. I don't even know.
Oh, man. I think Stetson Bennett's had a pretty good preseason, though. He's played well. I mean, the Rams have played really well this preseason.
Ooh. Saint took Jaden Daniels in round 5. Daniels isn't going to like that. Should have waited to round 6.
You cannot pick Jaden Daniels in round 5. He's going to sue you. We have to forfeit that pick, or else Blitz Sports Media is going to end up in the ground, guys. It's over. It's officially over. All right, let's see here. Okay, Jalen Warren goes. I kind of got sniped there. That's disgusting.
I love Jaden Daniels, but this whole cease and desist with LSU over.
It's horrible. It's bad.
It's such a bad publicity. And they say all publicity is good publicity. This is not good publicity.
Not at all. Let's see here. So I got Rico Dowdle there. There you go, Baker. Does that say Baker Mayfield?
It does, and I'm very confident I can say who you're going to pick.
No, you didn't.
That was the last person I thought you were going to pick.
Or who was I gonna pick?
I thought you were gonna take a shot at Jackson Dart right there, just because Jaden Daniels going, Baker going. I thought that'd be a good.
We're holding our guns. We're holding our guns to our chest. Hey,
Oh man,
quarterback stays in the pocket.
I
Ready to
might
go.
just take two just so I can trade someone.
But yeah, I mean, like I think Baker a little too high right there. I mean, you got a lot of quarterbacks still available. Um, but I mean, you look at how this thing's playing out. Like I got Rico Dowdle, Josh Downs. I get two solid depth options. I like the way my roster is forming, but obviously not grabbing those tight ends early. Like it comes back to bite you a little bit with how this draft goes. And quarterback last round only. I know Mezer and Dean got stuck with this last time we did a 16-man last week. Definitely slim pickings at that point, but I do think Daniels, any round for Jaden Daniels this year, I'm just not drafting him. Like I don't like Jaden Daniels. He's my quarterback 11. Like I don't feel very confident that this offensive line is going to be good enough to support good quarterback production. And his points per game dropped by 3 last year. The injury concerns are real. Stephon Diggs was a nice signing, but the schedule's hard. Like I just don't really love this overall situation for him entering the year, and it makes me a little bit concerned with that. But overall, Rico Dowdle, Josh Downs, two guys that I do like drafting this year. I'd like Jalen Warren over Rico Dowdle because of the receiving work, but I think both are worth taking a look at this year. Jordan Mason goes there. I'm interested to kind of like.
You can probably guess my pick if it comes back around.
Or how's your squad looking like?
Never mind. You can't. So many leagues I was taking Kelsey and Likely too.
Yeah, Dota's got a good little stack going there at that tight end spot.
That really hurt me.
So you go QJ. So we got QJ going over DK Metcalf Measure. Are you feel confident in that one? I can't believe Sleeper still has Jordan Tyson and Mekhi Lemon in the 80s for their ranks. That is just literally picking on people that don't look at any sort of news.
Honestly, I really love Andrew's team. If I didn't snipe him on Bucky, oh man.
That is a really good 16-man squad right there.
Oh, I'm not loving these tight ends now. I was really banking on Likely. Yikes. This is
QJ
rough.
may be the number one. All right, we're not doing Lad McConkey slander at this point. We are, if we're doing no Stetson Bennett slander, we are not doing Lad McConkey slander because this is McConkey's year. I do love QJ though. I will say that. I think QJ's a good target. I think he's very undervalued.
I'm just gonna let the board fall to me.
J.K. Dobbins. I thought about that instead of Dowdle. I think just Dowdle has a little bit safer of a floor, especially in this format where it's not going to sink me completely.
He has the same bye week as Bucky, but I'll worry about that when it happens.
We're talking bye weeks right now in a mock draft.
Hey.
Wait, you know what I should have done? I should have added defenses in here for you.
Are we doing defenses in?
No, there's no defenses.
Why not? There should be kickers too. They're people.
No, kickers.
You saw what Cam Little said. If you don't have kickers.
16-man league defense and kicker would be the worst thing in the world.
It would not. It would not.
Yeah, it would. What? I don't want to start the Dolphins defense.
Then draft a defense at round 10 like a normal person.
A normal person drafts a defense?
Yes. If you don't want the Dolphins, yes. Give me the Rams defense. Pick 3 overall.
Fantasy do suck, and then Dota loves defensive kickers. I love defense. I think defense in anything 16 or lower is good. 16 and up, no. I don't think you can do defense.
Well, you just said yes and no for 16.
All right, well, you know what I mean. 14 and down, we're doing defense. 16 and up, no defense.
My guy's still here.
Defensive fantasy is cool this year. This David guy gets it. Bengals defense top 12 this year. I'm trying to think the road for them. They're not going to get it by sacks, that's for sure. They got to rely on a lot of takeaways there, but I do think their defense is going to be a little bit more.
DK's still here. That's crazy.
So you're just going to take him?
I'm not taking DK. I'm just saying it's crazy. He's still
It's crazy he's still here, but I'm just gonna pass up on him too.
here. I think who I want will come back to me, so I'm just gonna throw a shot in the dark and take Mark Andrews. I don't love it, but at this point, with the other tight ends on the board,
Every time I hear Mark Andrews drafted this year, I just like.
I know likely not falling 2 more picks really screwed me, but that's what mocks are for. You get to see where everyone goes, reevaluate.
Yeah. Cassius Howell, I did like him. He was a really nice guy at the combine. I talked to him for a little bit. I hope he can overcome that small arm problem that he had. But I think he seemed like, production wise was definitely there for him. And I am rooting for him. He seemed like a really good guy. There goes DK right there. So basically Andrew won this league.
I mean, he still has no RB2.
Yeah, if Jeremiah Love does miss time in the season, I know it's very up in the air if he's available week 1, but
he could still draft Tyler Algier.
Still could. He could literally handcuff himself.
Michael Pittman, the pick after DK. Oh man, A Train. Why did I think Concepcion was gonna fall back around?
KC, I don't know. I like Denzel Boston more than KC.
I want to take him over Andrews, but I'm like, I need a tight end, and I can't risk like 3 or 4 more going. There's only a couple more that I even would remotely be comfortable starting.
Yeah. I will say this, Ruben Bain. We're gonna find out based on this year's edge rusher class about how much long arm matters because there's so many reports about Ruben Bain, Cassius Al's arms. If those guys can produce, they'll be big. Bunting, what is up? Really sad that you could not make it in here. You should have filled in for Stuthump. Could have been filling in. Roman Wilson's clearly the one in Pittsburgh, not Pittman is. I think Pittsburgh's offense is going to surprise some people because Mike McCarthy is going to turn it into a more pass-happy scheme than it has been in years past, and I do think they could be frisky. Now, defensively, yeah, I don't know, but I do like that unit on the other side there. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Tight end sucks right now. All right, I know.
Yeah. The only thing I would have changed is I would have probably taken Kelsey over Mike Evans and Concepcion over Andrews if I had a glass ball or crystal ball, as you will, and saw how the draft would turn out.
All right, yeah, I'm chilling. I know exactly how I'm gonna.
Oh man, that was my backup plan if Concepcion didn't make it back to me.
Yeah, no, we're doing that. We're doing that right there. We will be chilling. Gainwell there. I have 2 tight ends that I'm gonna get 9 and 10. So if you guys can snipe me before then, that'd be great. But let's see. Aaron Jones. Okay, then we're gonna go. I like my running back room though. I think I'm gonna go another receiver here. I'm gonna go Chase a little bit down for upside before someone steals Stribling from me. We cannot pass up on DeZon Stribling. I'm drafting him everywhere. He's so damn good, and I've been trying to bang the drum on him for a long time. Now, 49ers injury receivers and his preseason production have him going higher and higher. Draft him. He's going to be so good this year. I made my Bengals bet for this Cowboys Super Bowl. We got the birthday dinner tonight for Bunting. Let's go, dog. Congrats. Happy birthday. Plus 1550 odds. Goddamn. D-Bro is in the chat. What's up to? Added a shit ton of pass rush in Cincinnati. Yes, Grim is right. QJ wide receiver 1. Ryan is fam and tons of D-Gens in here. I love it. Shout out to D-Bro for tuning in to the stream here. D-Bro, I kind of got destroyed by Grim and Mezer for missing a mock draft on Thursday. I may have been hammered, and my phone may have been on SOS, so I got screwed over there from the boys. Stribling is a little too cheap right now. Agreed. You got D-Bro's here to support with the nerd facts.
Dude, I was falling asleep the other night, and I was watching like a 2K video, and an ad popped up, and it was D-Bro for Fantasy Pros yelling on the ad. I was like, what is going on?
Nah, dude. I still think one of the best mocks we've done, it was me, you, and D-Bro, and it was a 2v1, it felt like a lot of times.
The Hampton Harvey debate, and look at me now.
Yeah, that that Hampton Harvey debate last year did not look well for me and D, bro.
Old rookie running backs are almost never good. It doesn't matter what any metric or analytics says, they're almost never good.
See, this is why I like having you on here on these mocks, is because we have completely different opinions, and we'll just argue for 2 hours.
I almost missed my pick because I got distracted.
We'll just go through it. He's just going to get substationed. Nah, we can't say Deshaun Stribling's getting substationed at this point. No way. We cannot put that bad juju out there. See, there's levels to this. Like, Mike Evans got substationed. He's got a groin. He's got a quad. He's got a hamstring. Stribling got substationed. He's just got a day-to-day shoulder injury. There's literally levels to it. So, Stribling, you can already tell he's bulletproof, and he's got the profile to back it up. Can't pass on him there. Grim will let you know. Yeah, Grim will for sure let you know. I've been there. Grim has been grilling me out a little bit here. Me and Bunting are the D-Gens. Hell yeah. Hello, I love the D-Gens here. The Dean's office. The last Dean's office of the week. This is Thursday, boys. So if you want to go to school one more time with the Dean, Thursday night is the last one. He is actually going on vacation, I think, the first week of December. But don't worry, though. Saturday, he will be live with me for the Blitz Fantasy Leagues here. Now, see, Chris actually writes for us and is starting to do content for us. Juwan Johnson is disgusting. I can't believe he stole him from me. He might be one of the safest tight ends that you can just draft because he's so damn cheap. And I was hoping that...
I was thinking about him or Strange right there.
Yeah, like, damn, that sucks. I really wanted him. You went Strange over... Why'd you go Strange over Johnson?
I just trust Liam Cohen to have everyone eat, and I feel like when Tyson comes back healthy, Johnson might fade out, especially ever since they signed Travis Etienne, or Achan as he wants to pronounce it. I'm still going to call him Etienne. I don't care. But they signed him. Jordan Tyson's going to come back healthy. I feel like Johnson's going to be like the odd man out come November, December.
Interesting. I think if Delp can eat into that snap share, he becomes an intriguing ad. I think dynasty-wise, definitely worth stashing. But the guy had 884 yards, I think is what it was last year, with 70 catches. He was top 10 in yards after the catch, yards per route run, all the metrics you want to see from him. And he finished tight end 9, and now he's going tight end 16, and Jordan Tyson's hurt. Like, I just find myself, especially in these situations where I don't have a tight end, like Juwan Johnson just seems like a really solid pick. Mike Evans is out with his 5th injury of the offseason. Mike Evans is indefinitely out with whatever injury you could possibly think of. He's had it so far. It's nice to see CMC, though, find a way to get back on that field. Well, we can all hindsight stuff, fam. If you ever saw them drafting Coleman, then kudos. Yes, the Coleman draft pick maybe put the nail in RJ Harvey this year, for sure.
I like Jonah Coleman in Dynasty.
I like Jonah Coleman in redraft right now too. I think he's worth a flyer in a lot of these drafts. Now, first week of December, vacation the first week of the regular season. No, it's first week of September. So he'll be back for the regular season. And I'm gonna have him do, I don't know yet what we'll do for in-season live shows for sure. I gotta plan that out this week, but Dean will definitely have an in-season live show alongside myself as well, which will be good. Is Tyson gonna be healthy in 2026? Also, yeah, the name's right. It's basically combining ETN and H-Chain, and no one can seemingly get it right outside of the Cajuns like myself. Is Tyson going to be healthy, though, for 2026? That is the question of the year, maybe, and I don't really, like...
I heard Tyson's 2 months.
Yeah, it's supposed to be back around, like, week 9 is what it's supposed to be. But I just don't really love where... Tyson's already injured this year. You look at the situation, and when he's on the field, you think he's going to produce, but like you bake in the fact that his ADP on Sleeper is still at 85, I think is what it was when we were doing this, and Mekhi Lemon's right there at 88. 2 rookies that missed playing time early does not make me feel very confident they can live up to it. And also, as you guys can see, 16-man tight end premium, if you wait on tight end like I did, you get absolutely screwed over. So
I can't believe the quarterbacks fell. And you're taking Kyler over Bo Nix and Jared Goff?
Oh, not even a question.
What?
We're going Kyler over those guys without a question. Kyler, why would I not go Kyler Murray over Bo Nix, who led all quarterbacks in passing attempts last year and still couldn't crack the top 6? Like, all
Okay, but he's
passing.
had back-to-back 7 seasons, and Goff has had 4 years in a row of top 10.
That's great, but Kyler Murray has never finished lower than quarterback 14 in points per game and has averaged 30 plus rushing yards for 7 straight years. Second easiest schedule nowadays. Like, Kyler Murray has everything to be a top 3 quarterback. Does Jared
He's
Goff?
He's just injury
Nope.
prone. That's my flyer on him.
Sure, you could say he's injury prone. I can't talk, but Jared Goff does not have the ceiling of Kyler Murray. Bo Nix may have the ceiling of Kyler Murray if he can start hitting some of these layups. Like, he misses so many of these easy targets, and his catchable target rate is not very good. If he does, that's where you see Bo Nix start to shoot up into that elite ceiling. I think Kyler's ceiling is a little bit different of a level than those guys.
See, Kyler Murray, the 1 year he's had where he was healthy the last 4 years, it still wasn't as good as either of Bo Nix's first 2 years. And Bo Nix got a weapon.
He did get a weapon, and I do have that weapon. I could have gone
exactly. That's why I was shocked you went Kyler.
I could have gone the Waddle Nix stack, but you will never catch me doing Bo Nix in any of my drafts.
I don't get the Bo Nix hate. I can't believe.
I'm not a believer. And it's
I just can't believe some of these guys haven't taken quarterback yet.
Should I sell K9 after this injury? No, I don't. It's nothing long term. It's just I would say it's a minor thing that popped up. I wouldn't consider this long term, but I will say monitor it. Emmett Johnson should be drafted towards the end of your drafts. He's performed very well this preseason, and there he goes, right there. That's crazy timing.
I can't believe some of these guys aren't taking quarterbacks.
You got to push it down the board, man.
I know, even in a 16, man, like Emmett Johnson over a quarterback is just reckless. Like, what are we talking about?
A-Train's wondering if he's got to do draft multiple tight ends, even if you get a Bowers or McBride. Personally, every time I go one of those elite tight ends, I never go double tight end because of the fact that, well, unless value falls to me. So, like, let's say Pitts is sliding down the board. It makes sense. Yeah, sure, I'll grab him. But, like, a lot of the time I don't find myself having to get a second tight end because I have that elite positional advantage that comes with drafting those guys. So I kind of just sit there and I feel very comfortable with them. And I don't really see tight ends at the top of my draft board when I'm looking through it. So haven't really been down that road.
I hate Andrew.
Saints will and should take it really slow with him. Bryce Lance season. If you have been following Debro, you already know you should have been drafting him. Always Lance. I think Lance is an interesting one.
Dude,
I wonder if
even in
like
16, that's crazy.
Pre-trade deadline, Rashid Shaheed, Bryce Lance would be a very, very good outcome for him. If he's earning like 5 to 6 targets per game as a rookie, as that wide receiver 2 slot. I think, honestly, like the biggest thing I looked at Jordan Tyson injury as, I looked at it as more of Chris Olave just still has an elite ceiling, and his early third-round price, I think, is a little too low for him. I have him over Drake London, Nico Collins now, and I think he's still a little bit undervalued. Kayshon Boutte, I think he was an interesting guy that Houston definitely needed. I thought New Orleans was probably going to be in on him as well, but Houston, decent landing spot, not great for his fantasy value for sure. Let's see here. Kyler is horrible. If he holds the job, I'll be very, very surprised. Yeah,
he'll hold the job. I have no doubt in that.
9 is just so like mega ass that I mean, he's so bad. Like I would not be surprised if Carson Wentz like plays over JJ McCarthy if something happens to Kyler Murray. I would not be surprised. Booty of the Texans is intriguing. 9 is going to get the job when the new COD comes out. I can't wait for the new COD. I got to go try it out. I've been playing so much Black Ops 2 when I've been home with this new PS port of the game. Me and the boys have been hopping on. We got 5v5 private matches going again. It feels like the old times at this point. Out on Kyler and Jay Jettas this season. Man, this might be the biggest disagreement we've had in fantasy, D-Bro, that we're differing on the Vikings this year. Emmett is a dog. I told you quarterbacks in the last round only. Quarterbacks in the last round only, and David's got 2 quarterbacks and 3 tight ends. He's gatekeeping all of them from us.
I don't even got worried. Like I don't hate my team. I'm just shocked that some of these guys fell so hard. I in retrospect, I wish I would have went Kelsey over Mike Evans and Concepcion over Andrews, but that's the only thing I would have changed. I like having tight end depth and premium.
Tight end depth and premium. Well, when you give 3 later round options, yeah, I definitely understand that.
I think I'm just gonna snipe you here, honestly,
Oh, you're
Ryan.
just gonna snipe me? That's great.
Yeah,
What are
sorry.
you gonna snipe me with? Oh, dude, I'm not drafting Zachariah Branch at all this year.
I swear I've seen you draft him.
Never.
I swear I have.
They
Don't
got
lie.
Jahan Dotson resting in these games right now because he's with the ones. And Zachariah Branch, I think he's going to be an interesting player because he's very explosive with the ball in his hands. But the quarterback situation sucks, and it's not going to support more than 2 pass catchers in this offense. I just don't see a world where Zachariah Branch is this consistent fantasy option when I can draft other players, and I'll probably wind up drafting some of them like with my next few picks that I find intriguing instead of Zachariah Branch, who I think is not in the best situation to succeed right now. And especially with Kevin Stefanski, because the thing about it is Stefanski has never historically been great for wide receiver production. And that's why I'm a little bullish on Drake London, and the quarterback situation is not great. So it's kind of just made me fade those guys just a little bit more than I normally would as a wide receiver too. Now I got to lock in here. All right,
I'm
tight
just
end
not worried
position's
about
absolutely
Dotson.
screwed. We're just got to hope Dalton Schultz is just like decent, holding down the fort. We're definitely gonna have to make a move there, but I'm gonna go get more sleepers. Caleb Douglas right there, and
That's who
then
I was considering over Branch,
yeah,
ironically.
I'm going Caleb Douglas over Branch every day of the week. We're not
Chris
hesitating
Bell's
here.
been looking healthy. That's the only reason
But Chris Bell is gonna play a different role than Caleb Douglas,
yeah,
which I
I
think
don't know
both of them
what wide
should be on
receiver is
2
gonna
wide
ball out
receiver
on that
sets.
team.
Um, Low key, I feel like I kind of have to go AJ Barner here, which sucks. Yeah, I have to trust in AJ Barner. The Dalton Schultz just does not make me feel good about themselves. It's not great. Gonna be the Mac Jones show, Vikings front office. Dude, I have Mac Jones Dynasty Truther. Gotta have Mac Jones in Dynasty. He's gonna play somewhere eventually. I love you, Vikings offense. Outside of Jordan Mason, no Zach Branch ever. How does Thor feel about the Vikings, D-Bro? He was drafting Branch before he learned about Dotson. That is true. I would say 2 months ago, I was more in on Zachariah Branch before Dotson was resting with the ones in the preseason. So I will say that. Stop the Barner disrespect. I'm not
Meanwhile,
gonna
he
let that
didn't. He
stand.
drafted a backup quarterback over Barner if he wanted
That
Barner
is
so
true. That is
bad.
true. You
You didn't
noted
draft him,
you could have
Dota.
gone Barner over the backup quarterback, but my roster desperately needed another tight end, and AJ Barner is gonna have to take that next step this year. I can't say I'm super excited about my tight end room, but we'll see what we get.
Yeah,
Maybe Dalton
same.
Schultz plays like he did last year, and I could, stream tight end. That would be probably best case scenario. Shuck, top 5 quarterback this season, as long as someone in that receiver room stays healthy. Man, Tyler Shuck, I love Tyler Shuck. I think he just takes that natural step forward this year. Um, how high he's going sometimes in these makes me a little concerned. Quarterback's so deep, so I haven't been drafting him as much as I thought I would be when I, started saying Tyler Shuck is going to break out this year 2 months ago. But I do still think he's a very, very good pick. Kamani Vidal, I will not be touching with a 10-foot stick this year. This is where 16-man gets really gritty right now.
Yeah.
Where are you leaning here?
I'm gonna let Andrew pick just in case because he's been sniping me all day, and he already took Keaton Mitchell, who I really wanted. If Hampton gets hurt, Keaton Mitchell could be a league changing. Okay, he did take him.
Yeah.
Uh, I just need running back depth, and I'm just gonna go Derrick Henry's handcuff. It's nothing flashy.
I'm interested if Adam Randall plays at all as that early down, and then he goes third down with Justice Hill still. I'm Declan Doyle's the biggest question mark for me because I think he's going to blend a lot what Ben Johnson did and a lot what Lamar Jackson has done throughout his career, and I think the offense is going to look a lot different than we're accustomed to with the Ravens. So I think the running back rotation will look similar, but I think the offense is going to look a lot different this year. So I'm interested to see how that winds up shaking out there. For them this year. As a Cowboys fan, I find Kellen Moore way overrated, but maybe it was just McCarthy, lol. I think the Cowboys offense, even with Kellen Moore and McCarthy, was still putting up good fantasy numbers, though. I know there was a little bit of inconsistencies there, and they didn't run the football particularly well, but they still put up fantasy numbers. And in fantasy, like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those guys that, um, throw the ball a little bit more than normal. And that's why, like, with the Steelers offense, I do think there's going to be some people that are surprised that, hey, the Steelers have some production this year. As far as Randall, it didn't look bad, but he wasn't a standout. Not great then. Not great. Not great for his outlook. So, David, take a look at the squad, dog. How do you think you did?
If I knew quarterbacks would have still fallen this way, then I'm kind of upset I took Allen where I did, because then I would have went like Rashee Rice, and then I think someone takes Allen after that, and maybe I get one of the Loveland and Warren, and my team looks way better. But I think Andrew has one of the best teams. I like Dota's team a lot too.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
think I'm
very
middle of
clear.
the pack in this draft.
Yeah, I hate my squad. I'm just gonna say that right now. I do not like my team. This is one of my worst mocks of the year, and it's all because of that tight end position. I like my team. I think I have a very balanced team, a lot of depth here. But tight end, man, is so bad for me right now. Dalton Schultz and AJ Barner definitely have me a little bit concerned about this squad overall. And I do think like double running back, especially with our format, is going to be a little bit tougher in terms of that back half of the first round. Like, you don't really need it because it's only a one running back league, one wide receiver, one tight end, and then you have flex options. So there's a lot of different ways you can go in order to create that best roster. So definitely going to be some adjustments before Saturday's live stream. That is for sure. But before we end the stream, is there anything that you'd like to say to the people about the Blitz live stream on Saturday?
I'm just really excited to do it. It's going to be a blast. It's always fun doing these live streams, and this time money's on the line, so we really got to lock in on who we pick. And I can't draft tight ends the same way Saturday as I did today.
Yeah, we definitely have to lock in for that one for sure. I don't even remember who won it last year. I think it was Dean, wasn't it?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't remember either. I
I
know.
think I missed the playoffs by points or maybe by a win or something, which is heartbreaking.
What time is the live stream? So this is how it's gonna work. So Dota, you're one of the guys that are in the fans league. What's gonna happen is at 4 o'clock the stream will start. Right,
Central
the
Time.
Central Time, boys, Central Time. I don't know if Dean won for sure, Mezer. Oh no, it was one of the Eagles guys. I think it was Steven. Steven won. Steven won that league. Anyways, sidetracked. 4 Central Time, the Blitz Fantasy Football channel right here. We'll go live. We'll do a little preview show, talk a little bit of ball. At 4:30, the Fans League draft will start, right? We will have me and Dean on it commentating about picks going through. That draft will be live streamed on this channel. We'll get a little bit of an intermission, and then at 7 p.m., the Blitz League itself will start, and it'll be the same format as the Fans League. And then we will have rotating guys in during that time, and then that'll be the live stream. Last year we did 10 hours. We did 3 different mocks in the morning. That stream was absolutely crazy. This year we're doing it a little different. See if it works. So yes, 5:30 Eastern time is when that draft will start. The stream will start at 5 Eastern time for those of you guys that are all on that Eastern side of the world. But if not, we will catch you guys. The Blitz League. So basically what we're doing is like the Fans League is anybody that is not a part of Blitz Sports Media. Like, so all of our guys that contribute on the site, do content with us, they're in that Blitz League. And then the Blitz Fans League is everybody like you, Mezer, that just, we really appreciate, and you're always tuned in and tapped in. So that's how we kind of divvy those up. Hit me up if somebody drops out. Bunting, talk to Mezer and join the Discord, because there are some spots where people have not paid yet, and we got to make sure I'm kicking those people after I think I gave them 2 days. So join the Discord. We can get you a spot in there if you want to, and you could go win that thing. And he hasn't beat Mezer yet. So appreciate all you guys. Have a great Tuesday night. See you guys Saturday morning for that live stream, or Saturday afternoon. Don't know what I'm saying.
Morning, wow. It's going to be a long stream.
That is going to be a long stream. But like I said, appreciate all you guys. We'll catch you guys next time.